Fitness. Okay, so fitness, oh my gosh, I'm the biggest fitness nerd. Like, this is my life. I have been in fitness for probably almost 2 decades now, and I love it. It is what I've built my entire life around up to this point. Absolutely love it. But it didn't always start that way. So, when I was in high school, I was in conditioning. I've always been an athlete. I've trained, love it. And I was in conditioning, and word got back to me that some of the guys I thought were really cute were talking about me. And then I was like a boy. And I remember hearing that and feeling so stupid. And then I could out squat most of the boys in my class because I had really strong legs. I was a sprinter. I remember going home that night and crying myself to sleep. And at that moment I vowed that I would never eat again because I was just a big fatty with tree trunk legs that no one was going to like. And that story that I created lasted all through high school. And I was still an athlete, and I would run and I would play sports, but I stopped eating. I stopped feeding myself, and before long I wasn't even really good at being an athlete anymore because I had no fuel in my body. And so then I had to eat because people were starting to question why I wasn't eating, and I didn't want the attention. So I would eat, and my mom would make dinner every night, and I'd come home from practice and I was really hungry. And so I would eat, and then immediately I would feel guilty, and all these stories would be running through my mind, and I could hear the voices and the boys not liking me, and I started throwing up. And it got so bad to where I couldn't throw up in the house anymore because they were kind of getting onto me. So I would go out to our barn and I would throw up in the barn. And I defined myself as my body. Like, I was my body. Danielle was a boyish, tree-trunked-legged girl who never got asked to dances, and I was pretty confident that was why. I didn't go to prom. That was why. It was my tree trunk legs. And that I was a boy, and that's how people saw me. And I defined myself through my body for a really long time. And then I'm in my 20s. And my first husband cheats on me with a younger girl who's skinnier than I am. So I thought. Like, I looked great, you guys. That's what's so crazy. And again, those stories ran that I was never going to be good enough. There was always going to be something wrong with me, and my body was my biggest enemy. And I refused to eat again. And I was bulimic again. And I dealt with this for a decade of my life, where I was my body. My body was me. And the things I hated about my body was the reason no one liked me. And for me, it was anorexia and bulimia I turned to. But for so many women that I know, some of them turn to food. And they overeat to sedate. Some of them over-exercise and they live in the gym for like 10 hours and they still don't think they're pretty enough or good enough. And some, they have no idea what it's like to be connected to their body, and their body is nothing. And they have no idea what the concept of taking care of their body is. And so they put harmful things in their body to sedate. In Iron Butterfly Fitness, we sweat every day because in that connection, you create power. And you start to realize, just like I did several years ago, that I'm not my body. I am so much more. And so are you. But I also know that if I start to lose that connection, I will fall back into those patterns, even still. So I know that I get up every day and I invest in my body in a positive, powerful way, because that is what is going to create my success. And by doing that, I keep those stories and I keep the positivity and I create power, just like all my Iron Butterflies do. So every day we invest and we sweat and you get a half point for it. It is non-negotiable. Every day you invest in your body. And in doing so, we create habits In the beginning, it might look like a walk around the block. Now, my way of investing in my body and sweating is going to look different than the way you invest and sweat in your body. And one thing that you are not allowed to do is to ever compare yourself to me, to any other iron butterfly, or any other person around you, because you are perfect, whole, and complete as you are. You're on your own journey, and it looks different for you than it will for anyone else. We have to go internal. You need to shift your mindset around what fitness looks like, and now it's creating power for the tool, the vehicle you have been given by God to experience this life in. And if we do not take care of it, we limit our experiences. If I can't go out and play with my children, I limit my experience. If I can't think clearly, if I can't connect to God because I'm so toxic inside, I limit my experience. If I'm so ashamed of who I am and embarrassed and I'm so self-conscious that I can't connect with my husband, I'm limiting my experience. But when I can stand in power, I can stand with the connection of my body to know that she is a gift and a tool that I have been given. And she is unique just to me. No one else. And she is beautiful. And I am beautiful. And together we are a team. Then guess what? Everything else around me works. My relationships work. My spiritual connection works. My future works. The things I engage in and I want to achieve while I'm here on earth works. It all comes back to the body. We feed it, we work it, and it functions at optimal levels. So your 2 half points. Half point for sweating every day, half point for green smoothies. This is going to generate power, create power, generating good habits. You've got to start every day to get those habits in. And we're creating changes for a lifetime, not just overnight. It's not a quick fix. It's not a diet. It is a way of living. It is a healthy lifestyle. And this is how we create it right here. 1 point a day.